I-Innovate is a company working with global partners around the world who are at the forefront of education and educational transformation. And we're bringing tools and resources to communities across South Africa to teach kids the skills that they're going to need for the future here in school today. And those include skills like creativity, collaboration, and problem solving. And we do that through integrating subjects, traditional school subjects like science and technology, engineering and maths, but also with building and creating and hands-on programs that are exciting for students and get them excited and passionate about learning. So it's actually been so exciting to see, and I find the students who are engaging in the programs are a lot more clever than most of the adults that we work with, and even ourselves when we start the program.
Days it was still a bit of a struggle for them to grasp it, because obviously try to introduce them to the content and the whole concept of artificial intelligence and robotics, and it feels like far-fetched for them. But like at the launch, we actually brought like an actual robot that could do some of the tasks that humans do, and then from seeing the product, it was easy for them when you get to the content what actually that makes sense. We also try to also introduce the concepts in a way that's relatable to the kids. So it'll be like, what's around you? What have you seen like in your home, in your neighborhood, that actually applies the thinking or the concepts of artificial intelligence? And then from that, it's easy for them to grasp on, oh, that's how it works. And then the early sessions, we just introduce like the basics of like how do you get the power to go to the source of the power to go to the actual motor, get something to move, like open, close circuit. Once they get that right, as they move to more complicated elements, they always have the basics right, like, okay, ultimately for my thing to work, I must go back to the basics. So that's how they learn the best. You go to the basics, and then as you improve or go to the higher stages, it gets better with them as
well. The first thing I would say is that our learners they were disadvantaged. They are still disadvantaged, and we do not want to continue with the inequalities. So one thing I would say that they must open their hands and stretch out their kindness to the learners, so that they can also be on par with them, because the learners really do. It's not like they choose to be in poverty, you know. And another reason I would be that these learners are very smart. They are exposed to many technologies, Facebook, Instagram, the like. Now, if they don't get exposed to these things, then they'll remain in the dark, literally, you know. And the last thing I'd say that I'd encourage them to do is that it's community-based. So their community needs smart thinkers, they need innovators, they need people who are gonna empower the community, yes.
When I heard about robotics and stuff, I first thought of, programming, everything that is nice and cool, yeah. So it was, for me, it was something that would help us in the future, yeah, in terms of science, technology, yeah, so we can be a bit advanced.
I found that AT, it helps, actually, it learns and it shows how the robot can be done and how to control a robot.
Well, the class has been great. It's fun. I love it, and the teaching is kind of opening my mind on how to do things and to program also. So I'm learning more about computers because I'll be working with them, I would say. And yeah, it's kind of nice.
One of the great things about our programs is they're all very modular. So AI and Robotics for the Future here at Diepsloot Combined School is going to lead into our NASA program, where students are conducting a science experiment in their classroom at the same time as a live science experiment is launched on a SpaceX rocket and installed in the International Space Station. And the students will be conducting their experiment alongside researchers, astronauts, and scientists in space, and coming up with their own conclusions and analysis here in the classroom, which will be shared with students in classrooms around the world. So once we go through a stage of the very foundation of what is AI, how do computers work, how do we work with technology, and how do we create technology to solve problems, then we show them how they can build sophisticated pieces of equipment that conduct experiments like a plant growth experiment and talk about food security and what does that mean for our community and what does that mean for our world. So we really try to link each of our hands-on experiential programs into a real world scenario so that they're not just learning for learning's sake, but they're actually seeing how this connects to their future or their community or the big picture.
For more stories like these, go to www.social-tv.co.za, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on our social mediums.